They feel very secure with their new lineup.
Yep.
And since their loss was just yesterday, a lot of teams do not dwell on those because they know they have another game coming up, and they just put all of their focus on what's ahead of them.
Quick mid laners being kicked out of there for Shiphtur. 2 right directed at him. They don't want to be dealing with the Ziggs. He's actually found himself on the ban list quite a bit today. They actually ban out the Kassadin themselves, as Shiphtur played that the other day.
Yeah, very strong mid lane focus from both teams. Most red side teams will ban out Kassadin, as we saw though in that famous game. You know, CLG was comfortable with giving it up. They're pretty much the only team, and that's specifically because of Link. He feels fine playing against them. Dig, though, not going to give that one away.
No.
And it will be that final Kayle ban, so we don't get to see top lane Kayle again. You can tell which teams have been scrimming against each other, too, coming into these weeks, because they'll use similar strategies, and the top lane Kayle has been one that Dig has used as well, so they don't want to let them go through.
Maybe the Kazakhs? No, the Lulu gets banned out. They do ban out the Evelyn, something Snoopeh used yesterday as well to help them get the victory. He's also been on the Kazakhs, but we see Innox getting himself to carry top laner right off the bat to put himself in a good position.
No surprise here, but just locking in a very strong champion like Jax does not mean game over. Oh no, we can't come back from this. There are very many options for the opponents when you first pick a Jax like this. Taking it so early, you can go with Renekton to bully him early. You can go with lane swaps and keep him down, trading things to keep down Jax farm. Or you can just go with a team that will not have to split push against that Jax and can force something very easily.
Altec on the Twitch, definitely an impact AD carry for him to be playing. Snoopeh picking up the Thresh for Krepo. You may all remember Krepo's flash miss hook yesterday, but after that, he flipped a different switch and was hitting every death sentence left and right.
Yeah, there was one misstep bid. He said that was lag, so the rest of the game,
of course,
I'll
lag.
believe it, because the rest of the game, he landed
that is true.
So many really, really good hooks for the team for the rest of the game.
Ping pong with the Pantheon.
And got them an extremely, extremely good advantage, which they were able to snowball into that game victory.
KiWiKiD looking at the Zyra, does lock that in. Shiphtur wondering and locking in the Syndra.
I'm a really big fan of Syndra right now because the mid lane 1v1s have been increased in power.
Yeah.
Because that's really the only time you get these even matchups anymore. The side lanes are all wackadoodle. Everybody's in the jungle, roaming around. Meanwhile, mid lane, they do get to have 1v1 time with each other. And Syndra is extremely strong in that 1v1 scenario. The only thing he has to worry about, as we've seen many mid laners get caught off guard by the 3-man gank mid after people leave the side lane. So you still have to watch out for that 3-man gank mid, but otherwise, a very strong pick.
Orianna, very interesting pickup. Definitely a skill matchup coming here that I would probably give to Shiphtur right in the beginning. Back, forth, left, right, looking for an AD carry to make it just right. It's going to be KiWiKiD. He loves to cycle around on champions. Cutie-Pie's like, give me this. Kiwi's like, what about this? How about this? You want to play AD Shyvana? How about it? Let's see what happens. Locking in the Shiv. They have the Lucian up top. I'm just playing. So they're going to give that over to KiWiKiD. He gets and Cutie-Pie rather. He gets himself his aggression in lane against the Twitch. So it should be good for them. And I'll be surprised if we get another lane matchup. I'd actually like it, because that was a pretty damn good game.
Yeah, they do lock in another tank, a dive buddy for Lee Sin. If they want to go 2 members diving towards that Twitch, it's actually fairly hard for a Lee Sin and a Shyvana to stick on a Twitch going through Thresh. And they also are going to have to be dodging Elise cocoons and Orianna shockwave on their way in. So it's going to be hard, but the Syndra is going to play a big part in setting this up. Very long-range stun from her.
Right.
And she's really good against Jax because she doesn't have to worry about his Counter-Strike at all, and she can front-load a lot of her damage into that Jax.
We'll see if that's how it plays out. It's always easier to say. As the team loads onto the Rift, it's time to tally the votes over at lolesports.com, where Dignitas leads EG with 84%. Another 80% vote coming out, but keep sending your picks by tweeting either hashtag EGWin or DIGWin to LOL Esports.
Not only is the Dig team very confident, but the Dig fans extremely confident coming into this as well. EG, though, they're coming off a really big win, so high spirits all around for those guys.
Dignitas probably looking to get under their skin early. We said before, they're a team when they have confidence, they kind of allow themselves to play complacent. But that's the word they've been using the most this year in their interviews is we don't want to get complacent. So we'll actually see if the motivation they're getting now keeps pushing them forward instead of kind of letting them lay back and say, yeah, we're near the top.
Yeah, and I think Crumbzz is really driving that one home too.
Yeah.
He's getting in the enemy jungle early. He's getting the vision down that they need to be able to make those counter moves. And all of the lanes are thriving because of it. Yeah. Now, really the only problems we've seen are those late game trades. If we get to that situation where they're even with EG, can they be outmaneuvered?
Interesting to see as well. Nidalee going all the way through this one after be playing hard. So we won't see any spears coming in, unfortunately, but still
people have had their fill of spears.
Yeah. Already enough as we're on to the Rift now. Game 3 on day here, on the second day, I should say, of week 3. 2.4 gold on each side. Quite even to start, Kobe. But there's a sweeper on the side of Snoopeh. What do you think's going to happen?
Could go for it. Could signal an early invade.
He might clear a ward.
You can as well still sell, just go back and sell it after an invade.
Unheard of.
Probably we'll keep that, though, on Elise. Gank-heavy jungler does like to have the freedom to know that she's not in enemy vision. It does open up possibilities for the invade, though, and trying to steal away buffs.
Krepo actually starting Relic. Going to give a little more golden HP to Altec. We've seen both Threshes today start with the Ruby Crystal to get that early sight stone out.
Yeah, very popular. And at the point that he does upgrade that to sight stone is where he will be switching out for another sweeper as well. Very telling how early the teams switch over to sweepers. Ooh, looks like they might use this one now, yes. For the red invade.
Pays off.
They did not leave any defensive ward, though.
Very true. KiWiKiD, very like wards Dignitas has just placed to CLG's wards, except for that middle one.
Now, this is similar to the LMQ strategy, but like I said, they didn't leave around that defensive ward. So it makes this defense of a red, if they decide to go check that, much, much more dangerous. And it actually turns advantage against them because they have to face check. Even though it's your own bush, doesn't matter where the bush is. Never want to be going into it blind in a level 1 situation. So they completely avoid it. Look for that lane swap. And we will be seeing the buddy jungle system.
Yep. We've been talking a little bit how this kind of affects players like Meteos, who likes to get really heavy farm in the jungle. How's it going to affect Crumbzz and Snoopeh, who kind of are formulated on getting the lanes going more than getting themselves big? So almost works out.
Yeah, Crumbzz has been really thriving in this with the new changes. The only thing is, it is going to keep that Jax down longer than EG would like. Jax versus Shyvana not as bad as the Jax versus Renekton, but he will be relegated to the jungle as well, so it's going to be a while before they see that scaling.
Yeah.
That's good for Dignitas. They want to be able to press the advantage with their Elise in jungle as early as possible.
Interesting that Dig wanted to put their duo top and not kind of want to go after. Well, I guess, yeah, they are looking with the Thresh. They don't want to pretty much get killed. But they have dragon pressure now. Very interesting. Usually we see the blue team being the one to switch it up. We'll see if EG can do anything to that. Chat was saying, when is this going to kind of be thwarted? When are people going to move on this early dragon?
Well, every team that goes for the lane swap is, the dragon is the price that you pay for this lane swap. So every team knows that they're giving away the first one. And it's been so common that the teams take this dragon at around that 3-minute mark, 3:19, whatever. That
good call.
Even though they've given up this first dragon, and yes, we always talk about Dignitas have the timer for the second dragon, and they can easily chain these. It's so common now that every team giving up the dragon should also know the timer, basically have that timer as well. And these teams that are giving up in the initial swap are often looking to counter the second dragon to put a stop to that chain of events so that they actually don't get very behind in gold, because the first dragon, not worth that much, but the problem really comes from the domino effect and when the rest of them come in. So they should know when it comes back up as well for Evil Geniuses.
All right, you can see only 400, 500 gold now, somewhat ticking on that gold clock. It's going to see that early dragon, like you said, a little bit of help. We'll see where Shiphtur decides to push Pobelter in, as everybody's still farming around. No pressure yet, really, to any of the lanes.
Yeah. as I talked about before, really the map is kind of switched, where top side becomes blue side when they do this kind of switch, and bottom side is red.
Right.
Now that means EG did start their blue buff, so it will come up around the 7-minute mark, 7:10 or so.
Normal.
Now, but the question is, I really want to see one of these blue teams that is looking to stop the chain of dragons actually delay giving their second blue buff over to the mid laner, because blue buff lasts that 2.5 minutes without the mastery or 3 minutes with it. If you take it right when it spawns, it's not going to be available. It'll run out right when that another second dragon spawns. So if you delay giving your second blue buff over to your mid laner for a little bit, then you can actually save that second blue buff for the dragon fight, where it's really going to be crucial.
See, all and everything to be planned out here. It looks like Dignitas has a few planned. Nice hit.
What a hit.
A little sneaky shot there with the Sonic Wave. A laugh from Altec. It looks like it's just going to be a little bit of lane soak up here in the top lane. So Crumbzz not getting too much off the first initial buddy system visit. Looks like they will be back to the jungle for him.
Yeah, pretty much mirrored on both sides. Jungle attention down bottom for Snoopeh. So much about the first ganks has been junglers guessing where the other one will gank and trying to play to the strengths of their team. Just everybody's going the safe route, going to their duo lane. Good job there by Shiphtur.
Forcing the flash. Krepo already 5 minutes into the game trying to make big impact plays and get this one going.
Yeah, talked about that 3-man gank. It's annoying, but we saw Shiphtur have a good counter to it, long range stun, and then it's only because Krepo does use his flash that they end up getting a summoner out of Shiphtur in the end. Didn't feel like trying to dodge that one. Just burns his flash and answer. If you're really confident, then you sidestep that hook because you know it's coming out right after the flash. But he really didn't want to take any chances at all there. And he's going to have wards now in the mid lane.
We'll see if he can keep himself safe. Shiphtur is that mid laner we know who is very good at not dying. Getting a lot of fantasy points for his team. We'll see if he can keep doing that here, because with Pobelter's long range, it will be hard with his flash up and the ignite. That kill potential is there. Clear out from KiWiKiD and make sure they get some good map coverage and lay out a few more wards as well, just for precaution.
And as the lanes sack out into the normal lanes, it's pretty even across the board. It's just that top laners comparatively to the rest of the map are a bit weaker. So they do have to worry a lot about jungle ganks. Those can easily sway that top lane. Mid-low.
Oh, Pobelter getting hit. Didn't expect to be getting that much aggression after he blew Shiphtur's flash, but they turn it on immediately and blow Pobelter's. That makes Shiphtur's lane much safer as well.
That long range stun really, really working out for Shiphtur so far. Very accurate with it. First thing that you do have to master when you want to play Syndra. Here's that second blue, though. They give it immediately over to Orianna, so it'll probably wear out just about the time. Oh, they don't even get to give it over to him. Woo! Crumbzz. That's the other thing about going for your buffs on respawn. Everybody in the game knows
you're off the map.
What the timer is. So Crumbzz right there preys on that knowledge, able to steal it away. And he's done this so many times. That's also how they got their win against Cloud9. Crumbzz preyed on that 7-minute, giving second blue buff over to High. That time, though, he went for the kill on High, and he got it. This time around, he goes for the buff steal because Pobelter took the safer route around. Either way, though, very similar effect here. We'll see if he sticks around, because 2v2 looks spicy in the top lane.
Dignitas early 3 sweepers matched by EG here, as everybody's kind of taking this under their wing. We see the early sight stones quickly coming out for people, and then the sweepers to do it. And Dig is only just controlling more of the map here. Crumbzz stays to the top lane. Doesn't look like Innox is going to be having fun.
Such a dangerous dive because Snoopeh was waiting in the bush, but they got Innox to 200 HP under his own turret already. Doesn't matter that Snoopeh was there for the counter gank. They've already taken so much of his life away that there's nothing that EG can really salvage from this situation.
30 seconds on Dragon. Culling being used to drop the HP bars. A good sidestep by Krepo. Level 6 here for KiWiKiD. They're trying to get pressure here and possibly on this close objective.
That Ardent Blaze right into Culling is one of my favorite moves for Lucian that we've been seeing so much of lately.
Then you dash while you're culling too. It just feels so good.
Looks good too. See if they can actually handle this bottom lane, though, because big BF sword for QT Pie.
Oh, great harass with the piercing lights.
Yeah, that's the BF sword damage. Even though Altec does have sustain with his Vamp Scepter, it's not enough. He doesn't even stick around for the Canyon, actually, for Krepo to give over. So that's a pretty big loss there for Evil Geniuses. And that right there, it just cut away, but it's a good bluff from Krepo. Whenever you're Thresh, you can play that game and just throw your lantern back at random times.
Just willy-nilly, huff it anywhere.
Exactly. Because you gain two things with that. Either your opponents back off because they respect it, or they get lax and they're like, oh, he just keeps on bluffing. But then when you actually come in with the gank,
you pull in Jack.
Your enemies do not react, and you get a win there.
Dragon is very much alive right now and looking to be fought. Who's going to be the first one to step up to the plate, though? Dignitas has the ward coverage, but not as much as they would like. Crumbzz with the sweep, and they don't have anything past the Dragon Pit, where Snoopeh is kind of hovering right about now. Crumbzz looking to get that pink ward down. Let's see if he places it knowing they can't control it. No, he waits. He waits.
Yeah, he does have, as Crumbzz pretty much always does, both kinds of wards in his inventory, plus sweeper already. 4 sweepers switched out right now for Dignitas.
Oh,
Shiphtur, though, goes
not enough spears on the ground. Good hit, though. The blue buff keeps him up and up in the lane, and he'll still be able to throw out the same amount of damage with the regular abilities. This is not looking good. Dragon's Descent is there, but the HP is not.
Also extremely dangerous for him to dive that.
Yeah.
But that aggression means that they won't see a teleport in from Innox. Dignitas decide to start up the Dragon because Shiphtur just blew his combo, taking out all of Pobelter's HP, most of Pobelter's HP.
Oh.
What in the?
That was a good call. What in the?
Yeah. So he gets locked up. Great job by KiWiKiD there, locking him up. But Snoopeh a little bit too close to that Dragon. As we said, Shiphtur just blew his whole combo to take down most of Pobelter's life and forced him back to base. They take advantage of that situation, knowing that even though they didn't get the kill, he can't join Dragon. Good consecutive pickups there for Dignitas. And EG have not been able to stop that chain. We'll see if the third one they can make a stand, because they do have wards down there.
And everything else is ticking against EG around the map, too. We have to remember that last blue buff was stolen over to Crumbzz, so there's still been lane control loss here and jungle control loss by Evil Geniuses. With 3K gold lead for Dig, they're not even wards above them, really, but they know they're safe. They see everybody on the map, according to the wards that Crumbzz has been clearing and placing.
Yeah, and he needs to continue to do that. Invading the jungle here is getting more vision. He knows that this EG team, if they let up pressure, then it's going to be bad for them late game. They don't want to face that Jax and Twitch late game because there's so much CC to supplement those two carries on Evil Geniuses. Snoopeh, though, takes a big chunk.
Crumbzz starting off with a Sonic Wave into Resonating Strike. He's going to wait it out.
See, Dignitas, they don't hesitate to use their ultimates for large chunks of damage. Even though they aren't getting these kills, they keep on taking EG so low that EG can't contest any of the objectives. So Dignitas right there, even though Crumbzz no kill, again, another objective. They get control of top lane here. He can deny plenty of minion waves, and there's the blue respawn that you mentioned.
Once again, QT Pie getting the second turret of a game. He loves turrets, and he loves taking them down. You can hear QT Pie saying he just wants to crush his opponents harder. So far, the rest of the team allows him to do that. He's just under the highest CS of Pobelter right now, 110.
And very, very smart here by Dignitas. Since they were afforded that Dragon without having to use their teleport because of the play mid, he saves it, and he's able to use it to grab extra experience, which is the dream of every top laner right now, to be able to get 2 solo lanes worth of experience, getting top lane shoved into turret and then soaking up bottom. Zion is in a very good spot to keep down Innox for the mid game here.
And it kind of shows, as you were saying, Dig just dealing that amount of damage to push people out of lane. If you look at Innox, he's about 30 CS down, but he hasn't died yet because he's always getting out with that low amount of health, the non-kill pressure. Like, the kills are there, but Dig's just not worried about getting them. They're worried about winning the lanes.
And that is due to EG's game plan. They've been spending resources up top to keep Innox alive. Snoopeh has been visiting up there pretty much every chance he gets. However, every time
he's also been visited.
Gets the jump on him.
He is just reading Snoopeh like a book right now, and Snoopeh, unfortunately, seems to be walking up on Crumbzz and giving him the situations on the other hand as well. KiWiKiD going deep, could be in trouble.
Yeah, he does have Innox on his tail here.
Boom. Gets the counter strike. That's the empowered slap. He flashes the pop-up. It's going to be a grasping roots just after, and there is no follow as the flash was already used from Innox.
Yeah, you can't flash all the way across the Zyra ulti there. Still gets knocked up. Does lose the summoner spell. So actually pretty big loss for Innox.
KiWiKiD for 3 turrets now. All the way across. Coast to coast from bottom to top. KiWiKiD drops the front line.
Yeah, very hard for EG. DIGNITAS doing the perfect thing here, keeping up that early aggression. They do not want to let this Upadhyaya team soak up any money, get them any free time to scale into late game at all. And those trades that we're talking about with Snoopeh and Crumbzz in the jungle, everybody always mentioned lane trades, and favorable lane trades is how you get, you know, the big advantage there in the 1v1 scenarios. But jungle trades are just as important, because it keeps on sending Snoopeh back to base, and it also means that Snoopeh cannot venture into DIGNITAS territory to get vision. Look at the map. He has been countered every time he tries to cross this river. Crumbzz is there. He drew the line in the water instead of the sand, and Crumbzz says, you are not allowed on this side of the map.
And they're focusing that top side of the jungle as well, putting enough wards down exactly as they did on Cloud9. Just the flip side.
Crumbzz face checking this time.
Kicks him away, kicks away the brunt of what the damage would be coming from. Keeps himself safe.
He's got backup there. He's very secure in these invades, because at this point in the game, these strong early lanes from DIGNITAS have translated into full control. All outer turrets down. There's no perimeter defense for EG, and DIGNITAS continue the invades. A little bit slow on that one, though. Weren't able to come away with the buff steal.
Like DIGNITAS still playing right as rain here. Even coming off a loss, don't seem to be second guessing themselves in any situations. They kind of kept their composure so far throughout the game and have really put a foot down.
Yeah, there's no need to. At this point, 51 CS lead for Zion in the split push strategy. So him versus Innox, he is very, very okay in that situation. He can easily continue to keep that pressure up on top side of the map. So it frees up the entire bottom side for all these pink wards of Dig to start making their way into EG territory. EG, though, everybody congregating mid.
And everybody with a ward. Innox just laying his down to get eyes on Zion Spartan in the top lane. 4 sweepers out now for DIGNITAS to shut down those ward purchases for EG, but they are still remembering the little things, trying to keep themselves in the game. The vision game as well. Zion Spartan coming from the backside. A lot of pings coming in, as you can hear. Krepo could be going down here, just gets outside of his own box. And they get safety from the dragon.
He also got the very important Exhaust Summoner spell down. One of the most important combat summoners for any team here. That's a very big win for Dig, even though they trade ult for ult there. Exhaust down for this next dragon is a very, very good sign for them.
Oh, last shot not made. KiWiKiD looking to get his 4th turret of the game. He is a demolitionist coming into this one against Evil Geniuses. Dragon goes down. We'll see that in another 7. Pretty good plays coming in so far.
Yeah, they haven't been able to stop that chain, that domino, the domino dragons. It's really been a downfall. A lot of these teams that are they're taking late game teams and they're doing the lane swaps, and they just haven't been able to intervene at any of the early dragons.
Man, another blue as well going over. 184 to 158. Got to give credit to Pobelter for keeping himself up in CS and really staying alive this game. Only 1 death throughout this game. And a lot of, as we said, DIGNITAS pressuring and just constantly using ults to get the lanes won.
Full control here from Dig.
6K gold.
Maybe EG are going to fall into their old patterns of making desperate moves, because right now it's actually recommended. They really need to get some sort of pick on a DIGNITAS member that is by themselves. The weak one of the pack, the straggler. They need to get somebody out of position. Dig are really not giving them anything, though. Constantly keeping up the vision here. Double Sightstone for them, as expected with Elise in jungle.
We have seen the EG comebacks. We actually saw a deficit of 3K today when Cloud9 was able to win their game. It was just a few catches they needed to get that win in as well. We'll see if EG can do it. Krepo had a very hot game yesterday on Thresh. If he can start to hitting the hooks, like he said, those single catches, almost, they can start making some plays. They're a little split for this one. They got to watch themselves as well, though.
You see that? I mean, Dig just have so much vision. It's doubled up. He had a ward that was just killed by Krepo in the bush. However, he has one over the wall as well.
What?
Able to dodge the hook and get behind.
Wow,
almost
gets the ball movement play in his favor. Zion Spartan to the back line already. Pobelter's the one to crowd control and change the fight here for EG, but he can't even get into the fray. Great
that
positioning.
was almost the YouTube highlight from Crumbzz. Really close. But
That was a great dodge. Great mindset. He's trying to hit the hooks.
Burn out.
A big dragon to be hooking right there. Now remember, Dignitas has one shot on the turret in the bottom lane, so if they start going heavy and getting turrets down, they have even more to take, and it's going to be a big influx of control and gold, even more gold.
Yeah, and KiWiKiD also has that sheen, so even if they're on... Ooh, Altec with the minigame win. Takes that big blue Wraith. KiWiKiD though, a Lucian with a BF plus sheen is extremely efficient at taking small pot shots at turrets. So even if they only get a small window during a Shiphtur stun, he could take a large chunk out of that tower. They're spending a teleport and all members, basically, to try and kill KiWiKiD here.
So KiWiKiD, only one assist for the AD carry, but they want to get him off the map. He's been creating too much pressure in these solo lanes by himself.
Ooh, there's zig and zag, bro.
That's crap. Uh-oh, Crumbzz on the backside. Crumbzz says, sorry, not going to come into that one. They're going to be forced to actually make their way all the way out of this.
All right, so EG spend pretty much everything that they possibly have to kill KiWiKiD. However, they are getting something out of this. They get a turret out of it. You know, mid lane was pushed from minions, so it was a good time to go for something like that. Can they get back and defend that top turret, though? Because Innox actually used his teleport for the gank. He doesn't have it now to use it in defense of the top lane.
We'll see how Dig can really set this one up. EG knows they have a little bit of ground that they can cover here with those deaths happening, or I should say that death. But they will not decide to push that. Not enough ward coverage coming in. Looks like Dignitas is going to head back out. They got the pink wards ready, and they're going to reclaim the map.
Yeah, and Dig are closing on some really, really strong power spikes here. They've got the 2-item Syndra already death cap completed, and then Lucian almost at that Trinity Force. Keep talking about KiWiKiD. Once they have both those threats double items, that's pretty much curtains for Evil Geniuses. Already, they're using this really, really strong tank Shyvana that they've been able to feed for a very early Baron.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's pretty scary coming out. Krepo's going to be taking a lot of shots. Calling is up, calling is out, and he stops it with the grab. Flashes along, nobody in the lantern to safety, but Krepo puts himself in a good spot. In the box, maybe not, but the team is going to be safe on the disengage. Good save from what could have been bad.
Yeah, EG all have to be real careful because that Syndra ulti is still up. If there are just 2 spheres on the ground, someone's dead. Everyone getting, if you get taken to half life, you have to back off immediately.
There's things that are good about living, but being low health means it's going to be even scarier to bring the team back into the fight. This could be a call that not many follow for EG. That's going to be the ultimate coming in onto Innox. He goes down with the spheres. A double kill as Shiphtur just queues and places another one on the floor. That's going to be Baron coming in 22 minutes into the game for Dignitas on that call.
Syndra is one of the best champions for this division game around Baron. It's one of the reasons why the Chinese team really, really like to use Syndra for all of their late game Baron fights, because if she has Fog of War advantage, her stun is so long and her burst is so strong, all it takes is one little sphere to knock you, and boom, he gets home.
And let's see that one more time. Look at the vision that EG doesn't have.
Dead. It was a good cocoon into hook, but it basically just cost him his death because, as I said, those guys were already chunked out. They're below half-life.
And we're seeing a different Dignitas, very calculated. When they know how much power they have or how much they can push after doing damage, they take just the right amount. And usually at the Baron, it would get scary, but there, they seem to clean things up.
Not only do they get that Baron, Dragon pops up right after. They still have complete control of the map, easily taken by Dig. Very, very strong early game played by them, and they're rolling it very well towards mid. See how they do play the siege, because, as we said, it's very easy for them, for KiWiKiD specifically, to take large bites out of a turret in a very short period of time, minimizing his at-risk time under that turret. He only has to be in there for a second. Whoa, Altec is going so deep.
Very close. Altec hits onto KiWiKiD. The calling goes out as answer. Looks like neither of them will get too much on, just an 80 carry back and forth as they move up the lane. Dignitas trying to control the pressure on the map. Start moving up. Zion Spartan just having fun in the bottom lane. Nobody really knew about him. Innox will do what he can, counter-strike for a few more turret shots, but they got to be careful. We're going to have Crumbzz possibly coming around or pushing the top lane. This is going to start to be that dig 1-3-1 if they want it.
You can see who the real alpha is there. As soon as Zion gets out of turret aggro, he turns right around onto Innox.
Yeah. He can just turn back on Burnout and take a bite out of crime. 3-1 are the kills. A very big ultimate onto Krepo, the one who's been trying to make the plays and get the hooks. They shut down that crowd control and safety utility for the rest of the team. This is going to be the turret. KiWiKiD's on it quite quick. Gets the 4th turret of the game for himself. The one in the bottom was dropped, so we'll give him that one too. All 5 for Kiwi.
Kiwi goes down, but he got his ult off. He got the full combo.
Yep.
That's worth it for them. That's a risk you take when you play Zyra, especially the spell penetration AP.
He's just
Zyra.
trying to rack up that death award.
He did the damage.
Solidifying it. Here's that damage onto the turret. Those few pepper shots that KiWiKiD puts on with the Sheen passive after shooting and then getting the 2 clicks in. Baron still ticking away. A little bit of time left on that for Dignitas. Looks like they have actually just about a minute left, so 4 minutes pretty much on Baron spawn. Look at this one more.
Dead right now. There's the pick by Kiwi. The great knockup as well. They secure 2 kills off of it. Yeah, it was a shockwave to make Kiwi pay for it.
Yeah.
But that's just 1 kill. They still lost the turret after as well. So Dignitas still in that very, very commanding lead.
And you can see what Dig does before, during, and after all those wards down on the bottom side of the jungle. How would you lose a fight? You can get everywhere. There's 1 ward placed in the fighting position there for EG. That means Dig cleared some on the way out. Give him that credit. As EG tries to set back up now, Dignitas is not going to be waiting too much longer on this. 5-0-0 Shiphtur, the man that doesn't die, seems to be keeping himself alive.
Exactly. He's got all of Dignitas kills right now as well. That's definitely the fantasy pick of the year so far. Definitely Shiphtur.
There's a 32-some KDA after yesterday's game. It changed a bit.
Yeah, and look how
crazy.
You know, going with that Zanya's instead, it's because EG have not had time even to buy any magic resist. They've been kept down so much from the early games, just starved out, that the first Negatron cloak just now comes in for Snoopeh, and everybody else still very much prone to that Syndra damage. He doesn't need to go 3rd item Void Staff, which is extremely common. Rush right into that Zanya's to afford him more protection. He probably will not die for this game.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Innox giving the team back what they can in little bits, but it looks like he's going to be called down here to the inhibitor. This is going to be a forced fight. Pobelter with that shockwave up, but everything needs to hit, and that's one of them. It goes out of the crowd control. He flashes out of the shockwave. Huge dodge by KiWiKiD. Answers back with a culling. Almost drops Krepo, but he gets a good guy heal from Altec. Very nicely done to save the team, but Dig is pushing strong right now. It looks like they're going to be able to grab a little bit more.
Yeah, a couple flashes out of the shockwave, and it's going to be decimation of the Evil Genius base here. No CC to really worry about, too. That's what EG count on. Oh, no!
That's the Zanya's going out. Crumbzz gets in with 500 HP to get a kick onto Krepo. Still being useful, even though he could go down in a single hit. Snoopeh running for the base. Zion Spartan so big in this game right now, and he's going to be up with the rest of the damage to take down the inhibitor. They're looking for Nexus turrets at 28 minutes.
Yeah, very, very convincing win here from Dig. Very calm execution.
Strong play from the beginning. Great jungle control from Crumbzz coming out. Constant blue buff steals. He safeguards himself. Almost goes down to minions. Yes, he does go down in the end. Altec picks up another kill. It's going to be a 28-minute win for Dig.